speaks volumes, filling in this morning for Butterfly Poet, who's home with her child.
In the news,
Black Life Matters.
New York City, 2003, 43-year-old Usman Zongo was shot during a Rick-fed CD ring in which he had no involvement. The city settled with $3 million. The judge stated that the officer shot him because he was insufficiently trained, insufficiently supervised, and insufficiently led. Our question: why was he insufficiently on active duty? $3 million? Is it enough for a life gone?
Hands up, don't shoot.
Nevada, 2003, 28-year-old Orlando Barlow was surrendering on his knees when he was shot by an officer who was 50 feet away. The officer stated that he thought the 28-year-old was searching for a gun. Initial court ruling, excusable. But later, a federal investigation discovered that the same officer with a bunch of his officer friends had printed t-shirts labeled BDRT, which stood for Baby Daddy Removal Team. Determination, excessive force was used.
New York City, 2004, unarmed and with no criminal record, 19-year-old Timothy Stansbury Jr. was killed in the stairwell of his building. The officer who shot him said he was startled and fired by mistake. The grand jury deemed the incident an accident. The police commissioner called the death
A tragic incident that compels us to take an in-depth look at our tactics and training, both for new and veteran officers.
Our question: how do you mistakenly have your gun in your hands? Tactics: why were you there? What were you looking for?
Hands
up, don't shoot. Black Life Matters.
New York City, 2006, 23-year-old Sean Bell. Police fired more than 50 bullets at the car carrying him and his friends. They had just left the strip club. It was the end of his bachelor party, the beginning of his wedding day, well, now the end. A bride without a groom, a mother without a son, all because a plainclothes officer overheard a conversation of one of Bell's friends, saying he was going to shoot a bouncer. He followed them and started shooting. The officer failed to identify himself before opening fire. How were they to know he was an officer? Why were so many rounds fired?
Florida, 2012, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin, killed by a neighborhood watch captain, whose name is not even worthy to be mentioned in this piece. He was shot and killed because he looked suspicious. I look suspicious. Dangerous enough to die? New York City, 2013. Unarmed 16-year-old Kamani, shot 4 times in the front and side of his body and 3 times in the back by 2 New York City police officers as he left a friend's birthday party.
I can't breathe.
You can't breathe!
I can't breathe. New York, 2014, Eric Garner initially approached for breaking up a fight. The real offenders allowed to walk away. His history: selling Lucy's, single cigarettes from a pack. The real offense: Uncle Sam was not getting paid taxes for those cancer sticks. Arrested for denying no proof obtained, Eric Gardner harassed, heart attack resulting from compression of the neck and chest during physical restraint by police. 11 times he repeated he couldn't breathe. Officer's response: how are you talking if you can't breathe? Body limp, no help. I don't care if he was obese. A takedown was not warranted.
Missouri, 2014, 18-year-old Michael Brown was killed. Not a story of innocence, but a story of excessive force. What should the officer have done? However, in the news, you will see police officers in a standoff with visually dangerous Caucasian males like Thomas Clemens, who had an AK-47 in one hand and a beer in another, hostages, his wife, his friend, their twin infants. He was subdued and tackled,
not shot.
John Schlick smashes a Michigan sheriff's face in with the butt of his shotgun. As he and 2 deputies attempted to serve him a warrant, he fled to his neighbor's house where he was apprehended, not shot.
A group of overly armed Confederate long-lived the South good old boys who called themselves the Republic of Texas barricaded themselves in their embassy, also known as their 12 by 12 trailer, 24 pipe bombs, 10 rifles, multiple pistols, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. After a standoff, they were allowed to surrender.
Not shot. One black man is killed every 28 hours by police, a new way to lynch. Excessive police force and mass incarceration, same picture, different lens. How many crazies do cops encounter day by day, hour by hour? How many of these cops are our brothers, our sisters, or our husbands, wives, mothers, fathers? A second of hesitation is a 187, cop murdered.
The rhetoric of black-on-black crime is used as if something is defective with black people, when in fact,
The term black-on-black crime is a destructive racialized colloquialism playing into an idea that blacks are somehow more prone to violence.
when in fact, 84% of white people killed every year are killed by other whites. Where's the term white-on-white crime?
Malcolm X. We as black men have a hard enough time in our own struggle for justice, and we already have enough enemies as it is to make the drastic mistake of attacking each other, adding more weight to an already unbearable load. More than anything else, we must revolutionize the black mind and transform our docile, self-effacing nature and tendencies into proud, self-confident African Americans. No one is free until we are all free from the slave less than mentality.
And while we do not want to belittle the actions of our various police officers around the nation, we ask the question, do we use the same fervor to take back our diminishing neighborhoods from gang violence and drug dealers? Are we masters of our own community?
Do we stand up to school boards to ensure that our children are receiving a competitive public education, the ballot or the bullet? How many stood and voted this past November? Black life does matter, not only in relations to police, but in relation to whole life. The ruling is still the same, no matter who's killing whom.
Genesis 9 and 4 through 6. I will demand an accounting from each man. I will demand an accounting for the life of his fellow man.
Hands up, don't shoot.
To kill a person is to kill one made in God's image, because all human beings are made in God's image.
Hands up, don't shoot. God will require each person to account for his or her actions. We cannot harm or kill another human being without answering to God. Hands up, don't shoot. Black life matters.